So next up, we'll have Margo Hirsch, Director from the Empire State Coalition.
I'll stand on this side, if that's okay. Can you move on up? Thank you. Thank you. I'm always amazed when I look at the faces of young people, how beautiful they are and how invisible you are to our politicians. You're totally invisible, and I just don't understand how that can happen. When we have, Kristen had said that Governor Cuomo's proposed budget was to cut funding. No, the past budget was to cut funding. Governor Cuomo, our governor, who ran the largest homeless program for the federal government, right, came to New York and said, homeless youth, screw you. That means screw you in Italian, by the way, if anyone doesn't know. Zero. Put zero in the budget for homeless youth services. And then, I don't know, were any of you in Albany with us? Yay! Yep. We had a great time, right? Mm-hmm. But it was insulting. I mean, I thought our reception was insulting because our senators and our state assembly people were bragging that they were able to get back half of the money. Half of our money. They gave us $2 million for the entire state for homeless services.
2.34.
Thank you. New York City, 3,800 young people are homeless every night, every single night. And where are they sleeping? Where are they sleeping? We know where they're sleeping, We know exactly where they're sleeping, and we allow it. We absolutely allow it. It's criminal. It's criminal. And my job is to make known what is seemingly so invisible. And it's a difficult job. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. Not not the intricacies of your story so much, but the bigger picture about what it is. Talking to some of you tonight, listening about what it means to have a permanent apartment, what it means to be able to go back to school, what it means to be able to have an employment and get and earn your own money in a way that it has some dignity and it's not frightening. And that doesn't force you into situations that put yourself in peril. End up in jail, end up in situations that are just not what you deserve as people who are just are in a situation for reasons that were beyond your control. Most of the time, they were very much beyond your control. Because every young person, a couple of years ago, we interviewed over 1,000 young people on the streets, and the average age of the young people that we interviewed was 20. The average time that they had already been on the street was 4 years. So where are our 16-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds? I mean, it's very easy to ignore the population because you just look like every other young person, right? You don't look any different. You're not carrying around 1,000 shopping carts and bags and everything else, But my job is to remind people. I spent the day today, I rotated the entire United States, New York State congressional delegation, every single district, congressperson, to ask that the federal government continue to support runaway homeless youth. Because if we don't have Sylvia's Place, if we don't have street work, if we don't have the door, if we don't have Trinity, if we don't have Alley Forney or Green Chimneys, and I don't know, what other programs, who am I missing, guys? Who did I miss?
New alternatives. New alternatives.
Okay, new alternatives.
Safe Space, Project Soul.
Yes, right. If we don't have these services, and there aren't that many of them, if there aren't, then it's really even a harder challenge to be able to get some stability and to bring needed services and really what you deserve. back into your lives. You know, you deserve to be able to have the opportunity to just kick back and watch that big screen, or you know, go to a movie, or you know, go out to fast foods and not have to worry about where you're sleeping tomorrow, right? I'm often asked to speak at groups, and they're usually groups of college students or whoever, and I always start by asking everybody in the audience to go back 24 hours in their life, from where they are now, 24 hours, and think about every single thing that they did in order to get to be sitting in that chair that they are in today. You know, where did they eat? What did they eat? Who did they call? Did they watch a movie? Did they take a hot bath? And as they're doing that, I'm handing them a slip of paper, and on that slip of paper are some of the places that we know young people had to sleep the night before. And I have to ask them, like, okay, open that piece of paper. What would your life be like if that's where you slept last night? If you slept on a park bench? If you slept in a doorway? If you slept, you know, even in a homeless shelter, you know, even if you had a bed, how difficult would it be for you to have gotten through the entire day, to have gotten to work, to have been productive at work, to have done your homework if you're, you know, if I'm talking to a college student. And I think it begins to be an eye-opener. It's not enough of an eye-opener, but it's a little bit of an eye-opener. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing from you tonight, not only your stories, but tell me what your hopes and aspirations are and what it is that we need to tell the people in Albany. The budget has passed. We know that the budget has passed. Everybody has moved on. Guess what? I have not moved on. I have become, I've been yelled at by my family about this. I have begun a Facebook stalker of Governor Cuomo.
Yes! Did I join you in that?
Yes! All you have to do is you go to his Facebook. Unfortunately, you have to like him. I know.
Well, you just have to say you like him.
You just have to pretend to like him, and then you could put comments on. And I have been writing comments every single week about what his budget cuts have done to young people and the cuts that the programs have suffered. You know, and so I invite you all to be friends, to like Governor Cuomo, and to add your comments to his Facebook. And for the rest of the country, with your governors, I invite you to do the same thing. Hopefully, every governor has a Facebook account that you can that you can log on to and write your comments on. But you know, for those of you who came to Albany, I think it was a really powerful experience, and I think that we're going to go back and we're going to remind them that we were like 75 to 100 strong in Albany, right? Mm-hmm. Right? And when we met with Senator Savino, who's the head of Children and Families, her comment to us was, well, we have no money, what do you want us to do? We talked about the millionaire surcharge. She said, well, that would only raise $700 million.
Only.
Well, can we have at least half of that?
Right, yeah. We don't even need half of that, right?
2%.
It's like, and I'm thinking, when did $700 million become only? Like, when did that happen? That's like, that's serious money. For people who wouldn't feel it. A millionaire makes more in an hour than, I think I figured it out to like $2,700 an hour. Like if you figure out like what a millionaire makes, they wouldn't really, the fact that this was off the table was outrageous. It's disgraceful and it's criminal. So I think we have to continue to hold them accountable, remind them that their budget work is over, our budget work has just started. We are feeling the effects of their really disastrous decisions in Albany because they didn't have, the gumption to be able to say to their millionaire friends, too bad, you're going to have to ante up a little bit of money. So we'll keep working, right? We're gonna keep writing, we're gonna keep being our Facebook stalker. And we're gonna keep on their ass, right?
Yes.
All right, okay.